Well, everyone, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good wherever you are here in the world. My name is Gonçalo Pereira. I'm here with my good friend Dimitri from Kanban Zone, here to have some fun with you, here to explain a couple of things to you that might be useful for your working environment, for your organization, to promote a better workplace also. And basically, let's start easy on these things. We have a lot to cover. Let me start by asking you, where are you joining us from? Dimitri, I understood that you are from currently at Canada, right?
Yes, I spend my summers in Canada and my winters in Arizona because I don't do the snow anymore. It's too cold, so I just follow the sun all year round.
Awesome, awesome. But did you used to you used to like snowboard? Is that what you say?
No, I used to play hockey and like the snow when I was a kid,
Oh,
but as I got older, no more snow, no more cold weather, just sun all the time.
love that, love that. I enjoyed snow a lot also. So that's another thing that we have in common. Awesome, awesome. Right now we are here in Lisbon, Portugal, and yeah, it's lots of great weather. It's hot today, and yeah, I'm really looking forward for this time with you. Again, thank you for accepting our invitation to join in this session. And it's a great place to start. And again, as I said, as I mentioned in the beginning, this session may help you to improve collaboration, improve visualization, visibility, and transparency that you need to make better decisions. And perhaps you may find a great tool, a great thing for you to use at your workplace. But let's set first things first. Let's start a couple of our ideas here today. So basically, we'll start with our welcoming, our presentations, introductions, and we'll jump right for the tool, right where it can help you, right where the fun can happen. And afterwards, just have a little Q&A, and what else can you learn from us? What can you what next steps might have you have right afterwards. So basically, I'm here with Dimitri, as I once said. He is the CEO and founder of Kanban Zone for 7 years now. And personally, I enjoyed this tool a lot. And since we are talking in our series of transparency tools, well, it's a perfect fit. And so basically, this tool is destined to help teams and people visualize the current state of work, promoting the possibility of having better discussions and better decisions. Um, one of Dimitri's main focus is to help organizations grow from startups to big enterprise, and to keep and are be keen on eliminate wasteful activities and increase their profits. For more than 20 years now, he has been an agile coach, a facilitator, and also a master facilitator of the 7 Habits to Highly Effective People, specialized on organizational design to align strategy to execution. So I'm looking forward to many good discussions that will be generated at this webinar for sure. Myself, well, we already know me from the last sessions. I'm your host, Gonçalo Pereira, consultant at Agile Thinkers, and also a certified Agile trainer. And I'm enthusiastic about visualization, I think you can all notice that. And so, like Dimitri, I'm curious about strategy. I'm curious about the connection between execution and how you cannot separate both of them, right? So how do you get there? You need focus, you need alignment, and also you need great teams to be working together. These might be a bit of simple ideas, but really can be headaches to once you start with the wrong foot. So let's avoid that, and let's talk first about you to make a good first steps. So um, before moving into our discussion here today, don't forget to check out our conference, the Agile Management Agility Forum, the 10th edition of this conference here in Lisbon, Portugal, from the 19th of September to the 21st. And this year we have a lot of exciting speakers, lots of great companies such as Mindara, Remote, Talkdesk, and many, many others to be confirmed. Be ready to ask your questions, to learn more from their successful case studies, and to learn that secret sauce that you can and how can you improve your organization with their insights, with their case studies. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's worth at least a quick look on our website, worldagilityforum.org. And as I said in the beginning, this webinar, this session is going to be part of our so far mini series, on transparency tools. We started this series with Klaus Eisman, with strategic finance and a great tool for you to understand your financial value of your business options. And afterwards, in May the 2nd, we had um, Johan Person with Worldly Maps, with a great way to for you to align your business parts with your current strategy and how to make good decisions from there. So again, it's all about visualization. Today, it's not different from that. Regarding other teams, for sure, regarding other topics, but yet align with that main idea. And so, first things first, I would like to Dimitri, jumping right to the discussion, and let's. There's a question that I want to ask you, and I don't know why I haven't asked you that already. Why Kanban Zone? Why this tool? What missing piece that you saw that was lacking in the market? And why do you create? Well, for now 7 years, not create, but well, create and now being the CEO for 7 years now. What's the biggest takeaway that you have from this journey?
Yeah, so I think people are probably going, why another tool? Well, first of all, 7 years ago when I started, coaching clients on really building visual maps of their entire organization, we did it on wall. We did it, with stickies and painter's tape, and we often achieved exactly what the customer wanted. And every time we got to that point, the customer said, "Oh, Dimitri, this is great. This is exactly what we need. Now let's put it in a tool." And the tools at
Mm.
the time, which by the way have not made great progress, were tools that said, well, you can just do columns or you can just do perfect swim lanes. And what we realized is the way our customers visualize their flow was not that simple. They had different ways of organizing their information, and we saw an opportunity to say, let's give them what they need, which is exactly recreating their physical board electronically and not having all these rules that they can't do in the tool. So the biggest reason is the ability to recreate online any process you can imagine. That's the big driver. The rest of it, I'll show you some today, is some of the most important functionality to really track from strategy to execution. Many tools do great strategy, no execution. Other tools are great at tracking execution, and then they have a little bit. We do them both, and that's what I think is going to be the heart of our presentation today. Is we want to make the decision maker, the leaders, happy by saying we've got a goal, right? Let's make sure this goal happens, and we've got teams that are eager to produce and create great work, but we need to connect it all, and that's what I hope to show you today. So the two main reasons: no tool, still today, I believe, can produce exactly what you designed on a wall. And second, you've got to connect strategy to execution.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. I'm really excited to be talking with you today. And well, for starters, let's jump right to it. Let's if do you have like a case study from, let's say, marketing slash content management kind of team, kind of organization that you want to share? I'm saying that that kind of specific part because I see that lots of users from this sort of tools are from that area, and so that's why I mean, it's to adjust your pitch for your audience, right? So I think it's also a great way to see the interconnection that you mentioned from strategy. What do I want to get? What are the KPIs or the OKRs that I get to reach, into what sort of actions that I have to do. And so I think that's, well, if you have one, let's see it.
Well, I'll switch a couple of things around, but I'll definitely show you something around marketing and content management. And I'll
Okay.
show you like a big picture. So, you know what? Let's start with the content management. I think we can just start there. So I switched it. Let
Yep.
me share my screen. One more click. There we go. And we are in. So this is my real content management board. So this is not a customer's one. This is mine. This is my team, how we do content management. Now, when I talk about flexibility, this is what I mean is you can have columns that are nothing to do with Kanban. They're just columns to visualize work. Remember, when you build a visual board, sometimes to the left of your board or to the right of your board, you would put information. And for us, the information would look something like this, right? How do we use WordPress? What is our blog content strategy? What is our branding? These are things, they're not cards that are going to move. They're just things you would put on your wall so that you would see this and make it easy on people to find that information. For me, Kanban, it stands for visual signboard. And all we do in our system is give you easy way to visualize. So the first thing is, don't make me look for stuff. Give me everything I need. Then we can go crazy with this designer, right? We can create a roadmap inside a Kanban board. And that's what I mean by flexibility is you can do whatever you want. But here's how we do it to do content management. So for example, we start from the SEO side where we always make sure that all our cards go through an SEO review, and then they get all this information to make sure that our writers know what to do. So as you can see, the cards, again, everything is on the card. People don't have to look. They just open the card and get everything they need to be successful, right? And then a checklist, we can comment and do all that good stuff. So the cards are meant to be super helpful for our users. Now, the process is pretty simple. We start with SEO. We decided to break our process, and this is up to you 100%, right? So we have the ability to first select work, and as you select work, then we review it, we design. So some of the content pieces need special images in there. So, and as you can see, the more the cards move to the right, the more conversation there is. Here, there's 10 comments, there's 3 attachments, right? So the cards keep growing and growing as they move from the left to the right. And the process continues and continues until the work is done. Now, I'm going to go back into my simple view, right, to show you this view. We also have what we call our blog process and an external process. So what I'm showing you here is if I was a content management team, I would sit with my team and say, guys, what's the most efficient way to do it? I won't lie to you. This was not my first board. This is an evolution of multiple members, etc. And as you can see, I'll go back to the full view, is every column has very clear, explicit agreement to know what to do. So I'm touching on some of the basic concepts. So I wanted to show you first a real team board like this one, and as you can see, I'm having a little bit of a situation here. I've got some columns that are empty, right? And you know what? That's okay. Because what I want is I don't want my team to be overburdened. I want my team to be consistently delivering, right? So at this point, right, we use this system to quickly know what's going on and where we can help each other. Okay. So
All
that's a
right.
good
Yeah.
example of a content management board.
I like that.
Make
I like
sense?
that a lot. I like that a lot. Yeah, for sure. And I see what you mentioned regarding the tool, the columns and the lines. You have there, for example, on the right column, you have the those like rework and writing. So the division, the swim lanes from there. And yeah, as you mentioned, you're getting in line about the different types of topics regarding Kanban, regarding the visualization, regarding the evolution. So I like that. I like that example a lot, for sure.
Yeah. And you see teams get smarter over time, right? So when we go to
Yeah.
review, um, we don't like moving back, but you know what? We do like understanding how many times does a go card keep going back to rework. You don't have to have these columns, but us, we start experimenting with them. And as you can see, we do it here in writing, and we do it here also in designing. Those are just preferences. what I'm trying to say here is just like we used to do it on physical board by really mapping what we really want, that's what we created here is a very simple way to do literally any board you can imagine online. So part of this, Gonzalo, you told me, hey, Dimitri, this is what we would call like a team board. So this is where a delivery team would work. But this board is connected to a higher board, right? Which would be, in our case, our sales and marketing board. So many of the cards from that board are connected to this one, right? So this one is for the marketing team where we have our goals, our revenue target, our goals, etc., our lead magnet. Again, columns that visualize information. We again have the concept of a roadmap that we like. And this is a complete different board, absolutely different board. Now, if I keep moving up in the organization, I can go all the way to my strategy board, right? And I will find a strategy board if I can type it. And the strategy board would look like this. Now, the strategy board, much smaller, much less cards. So what I'd like to do, Gonzalo, is I showed you real example, right? And you can see how my board are constantly kind of created the same, right? A README column on the left. I like that. My Kanban process on the right. I love also having the upstream, downstream, where upstream I like thinking. So I like having columns where people think. And
Hmm.
downstream, I
Hmm.
like to have doing columns. And in the middle, I like having what we call a commitment point. So to the left of the commitment point, we're just thinking. But to the right of the commitment point, we're actually doing. And the reason
Yeah.
the commitment point is super important, especially at a strategic level, is you don't want to start spending a lot of resources if you're not sure that you're committed to it. So that's one of my favorite parts in building Kanban boards is this concept of having a commitment point with some thinking on the left, some doing on the right, and just getting stuff done. Now,
Love that. Love that. Yeah.
I want to show you a tiny the whole concept, but now from a massive level, because I think that's kind of the intent of our session today. I
Yeah. Sure.
created
Sure.
a little use case for you, and I stayed in the marketing realm, because I think this is where I love my customers, and this is the use case that I love to give them because they go, Dimitri, like we're going to change our logo. I'm like, great. Do you know how big a change it is to change a logo? And like, no, it's just 5 minutes. You're just going to put the. I'm like, no. So strategically, right? You need to have a board with your goals, right? And as you can see, this is a showroom. And the card here is I'd like to update my logo. And what we did is we connected a lot of other work that needs to go in here. And as you can see, there's going to be many groups that are going to start helping with just doing this logo thing, right? So if I start going into the organization, that's what I wanted to show you is for me, when I look at an organization, right, strategically, I might just want to do the logo and I'm going to break it down for, in this case, product and technology, what they have to do versus sales and marketing. And as you can see, um, I built here a flight level system. You don't have to do a flight level system, but I like them where I've got my strategy at the top, my coordination in the middle, and then my operations at the bottom. What I'm trying to show you here, guys, is I'm able to see that this little create a logo card will require work and coordination from two major value streams or area. And these two value streams will also break down their work into further areas. And so if I go to the legal team, which by the way, will have some real work to do here, right? They have to update our trademark. Well, no one about that, right? So my point is that each team would have really work to do, right? To understand what needs to do. And as you can see, we can track across an organization the cost and the budget of all this work related to the logo because I want the company to understand this logo is not going to be cheap. Now, the numbers are not um, real, but because I don't think it's going to cost $50 million to do a logo, right? But what I wanted to show you is the whole concept is you can roll up information from all your boards up, so that you can understand what was your ultimate cost and budget for all your work across the organization. In this model, I was goofing with the numbers, right? But the concept is how do you have a simple strategy of updating your logo and how do you track it all the way down in your organization? And the last thing, because as you can see, I get excited with this stuff, is how do you see it all connected? And here you can see that really this entire little update your logo touches a lot of department, a lot of things. And all these teams have to coordinate and work together to make this happen. So does that give you
Indeed.
a good
Yeah.
idea of the big picture?
No, for sure, for sure. It helps a lot. I think our viewers also helps them a lot. Um, that's awesome. That's awesome. And again, as you mentioned, changing a logo, it's easy. It's like making not. It's just for in ultimately, it's like a simple draw. But the changes that you have to do in web pages, in documents, in well, all a bunch of other areas where your logo is, it's a bunch of work. So I agree with you. I agree with keeping track on possible possible costs, possible budgets that you might have for your actions. And regarding the keeping in track of, do you perhaps have some key takeaway regarding metrics? I don't know if you are going to share them, but do you,
So
like, for example, when we present that to possible solutions regarding the customers, we often keep track of so-called cumulative flow diagram, and I'm sure that the tool has one, and perhaps something more that you would like to share regarding metrics.
well, let's go with metrics. I switched to my
Okay.
to a big board that has a lot of activity. This is one of my most active board, and this is where I build Kanban Zone. This is the real board to build Kanban Zone, by the way. And if I
Awesome.
click on
Awesome.
metrics, you're going to see that the metrics are right here at your fingertips, right? So this team turns work in 33 days. My cycle time, how long it takes me to take work and do it, 33 days. It's not great, but it's okay for now. Um, I receive 33 cards a month, but I produce 26, which means my demand is stronger than my offer, but I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm producing 26 cards a month. Now, those are my basic metrics to quickly, and the cumulative flow diagram is right here, but I'll show you a better picture. So what we give our
Okay.
customers is a quick way to say, guys, here's what's going on, but now go deeper. And when you go deeper, right, you start pulling your actual numbers and understanding really what's going on. And for me, this team can produce six, let's call them 7 cards a week. The second I know they can produce 7 cards a week every Monday, I give them 7 cards. You can then, your own job is which 7 cards would you like next week? And that's why we use metrics. Is metrics is meant to help you get better. And all we need here is to understand our throughput, our average, and then every week make sure our team has the 7 most valuable cards to do that week. And I'll show you on the board how
Hmm.
it looks. Now, cycle time
Okay.
is right here. You can go a little bit further, and I know you want to see the cumulative flow. So I'll show you cumulative flow diagram. Now, this is only for 4 weeks, but I can go quite longer. And you're going to say, well, Dimitri, you're doing great. Yeah, I'm doing great because my yellow, which is my work in progress, is very small. Every time I keep my work in progress limited, I produce well. If my work in progress gets too large, I start taking longer and having issues. So you are a fan of the community flow diagram. I am too, especially when you are able to read it and see, okay, I can see the growth of how my team is evolving. And as I can see, my backlog is not going crazy. My to do is still big, but I spend a lot of time waiting around
Yeah.
for approvals, for testing, etc. So my problem is not production. My problem is I'm spending way too much time waiting around.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this can be seen even deeper in some of our advanced metrics where we can actually show you exactly which column you're spending most time in. And I'll go quickly on this because I don't want to go too deep on this. But for me, my problem is not development. My problem is UX. I spend way too much time waiting for UX, trying to work on US, the rework of UX. I still haven't touched my code. Oh, here's my code column. And my point here is the mistake we do often is we say, Dimitri, go faster. I have money. I'll give you money. And I'm like, okay, hire 5 developers. I'm like, wait a minute. Look at your metrics. My problem is not my developers. Please don't add developers, add one UX person. If I added one UX person right now on this team, everyone would benefit. And that's why we use metrics, right? It's to show you your information at a glance so that you can make better decisions. And we are the middle of the week, and this is my real board, right? So if I go here, I have 3 cards left this week, right? And that's
Hmm.
okay because I'm well, we're actually Thursday, so maybe I won't make it to do all 3 cards, but I'll get close. And next week I'll put 7 or 8 more cards. So that's what I do every week with my team. Is this is the most important column for me, and that's where you start using your metrics to say, if I know I can expect this much, then let me plan for it and make it my job to always pick the most important. But Gonzalo, I've been showing a lot right now, and I was wondering, would you be able to show a little bit about how you use Kanban Zone internally with the Agile Thinkers? Because I know you guys use it, and you use it for managing your events and managing, but I've always been impressed with your board. So I don't know how much you can share of your board, but maybe you can do like me and put the little cards or whatever. But I think it'd be
Yeah,
fun
for
to see
sure.
what you do.
For sure. Let me just say that you have those different kinds of and different types of visualization properties. I'll call it that way, meaning that you have the different areas with the different department with the strategy kind of thing, and what you are about to see, it's a mix, not a mix, but a combination of the three of those. What I mean by that, we are, well, we are not a huge organization for sure, and so we'd like to keep things short for just one place that everyone needs to see it. For example, if you go to a physical board, physical place where you have the board like fully placed, it's not something that you have to spend a huge amount of kilometers running to see everything. But it's not like, and it's also not something that you have to knock on different doors to see a couple of different boards. So basically,
Oh,
here it
wow.
is. uh it's like a really small one, but keeps to help alignment and keeps to help like understanding what's the current state of the work. And I think Kanban, well, my opinion, it's all about, okay, it's regarding the current state of the work and what type of decisions can you make to improve it. And so basically here up top you have the big initiatives, and the for example the courses that are going to happen, the different things regarding the conferences, regarding other projects that we have. And here down, if we close this area, we have like the execution kind of stuff. For example, if I open one card here, let me see, hold on, which is it?
But you see, Gonzalo, what you're showing is exactly what I meant about a physical board that is very difficult to reproduce online. This is, I call it, that's a pretty intense board you have.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Like for example, what I just showed, I can show it once again. It's regarding the different activities that we have to do. For example, to host a webinar, and so if we see that some types specific kinds of it's, instead of just being like a tick that you have to do in the one card, often they get translated into one big card. So honestly, these cards up top are like big containers of other small cards that in time goes into the execution area. And so basically it's like a time frame kind of stuff, like this year, this quarter, this month, and team focus for this week's commitment, what we want to achieve this week, what's the from this, what is the next priority, what's in progress, and what is done this week. I have nothing here on the year today because we started to use this tool. I think it was on January 3rd or 4th or something like that. So it's just the beginning of the year, and so far we had 529 tasks done. So yeah, it's a lots of work, lots of work. But again, it's a way, and that's what I like regarding the tool. It's a way for you to be comfortable, to see everything that's happening right now. And as I mentioned, you have lots of different setups. You can have different types of teams, different types of interconnections between those cards. And so It really depends on your context. It's not something that you have like I will never have a board like yours, because again, different contexts and different people as well. And so basically, in the end, it helps us a lot, and it's a really fun thing for us to talk about, for us to see. That's why I also invited you for this small chat. And yeah, I really think that the I don't know if I answered your question. Did you want me to
I,
steal
I just wanted
something?
to see your board because when I started this
Okay.
and I said I built this tool because of people who have very intense ways of visualizing your work, and you just showed it right now. I mean, the way you guys think about it is this way, and the tool, instead of telling you you can't do it this way, we let you do exactly what
Oh
you
yeah.
want. So I'm actually very happy you shared your board because mine was more, like levels and separate boards. And you said, Dimitri, we combine all of it in one board. And we have both with our customers. Some customers are like, Dimitri, we don't want to be jumping between boards. We want to shove it all in one board. And my favorite client is a yogurt company. They have 150 columns on their board. And the problem is that I permit it and they took it and they build a board with 150 columns. And when I see it, I'm always amazed on what people do with our boards. And that's why I wanted to make sure that they saw a real example from you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let me open the discussion for our audience. Like, if you have any questions regarding the visualization regarding Kanban, let us know. Let's ask regarding your use cases. Also, if you want to share an idea, a thought that you have. Um, I
And then
guess
you had also
the
some nice. Didn't you have like a nice slide to show kind of a recap of what we talked,
oh yeah, I can share that. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
just to give the
Uh,
audience a little bit of information of what we covered already? Because I think you had other things, and we'll take question obviously, but I wanted to make sure there was a little visual.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, what I meant regarding Kanban is not just the board, just the board. It's a bit something like this. So for sure, the board takes up lots of lots of themes and a lots of things to talk about Kanban, but it's a bit more than that. It's something that it's regarding, well, different kinds of practices, different sets of things that you have to do to work around the visualization. We have limit work in progress. You have manage flow, like what you said. It's not the same way. It's not the same thing that we had on start. We learn as we go to the tool. We learn as we work around it as well. And so I'm not sure if you can see the screen, but I'll try it once again. Sorry for that. Okay, here we go. So basically, as you said, as you mentioned, you have the different types of what we call agendas, the different types of levels. So the team one and team two trying to work together in the things that are aligned and are needed to be done next. Regarding that part, you have the discovery up top, and afterwards the strategy up top. So basically, to keep everything aligned. What I was talking about the practices, it's more than, again, I can say that enough. It's more than the board. It's more than what you can do with it. So regarding that part, how do you agree to work together? What kind of rules that you need to set up to everyone? So let's say, for example, at 9 o'clock a.m. every day, we say we share our commitments with everyone. For example, that might be a rule, that might be a policy. That's what the Kanban method tells us. And way to make that those explicit is, for example, the first column that you shared just on the beginning, with a bit of information of how do you work together, for example. And from there you get different feedback loops. Remember the part that you have types of work that needs a bit of rework regarding, for example, the copyright. I think that's the example that you shared, Dimitri. That's a feedback loop. That's something said, oh, it's not good enough. We need to do something else. Okay. but then you can learn more from that, like, okay, but what's the good scenario for this type of thing? What sort of message do I have to deliver regarding that copy, for example, that specific copy? Okay, and then you learn from that. From that, it's all about learning. It's all about improving. It's all about trying, and so improve collaboratively and evolve experimentally. And from there, you also have the meetings. As I said, and I can't say it enough, and I'll say it one more time for you guys. It's more than the board. And you have, for example, the different types of meetings that you have with Kanban. Of course, it's not, once you just started with this, you don't do everything at the same time. But for example, do a nice retrospective by the end of the week to figure out how was the work week for you, and what can you do to improve it. How do you feel about that, and what sort of problems that you have run into, and you need to talk about that and to figure that out, to for those types of things not happen to once again. And from there, you have all different types of meetings, strategy reviews, what's in terms flow reviews. Like, for example, this is our process, the yogurt company that you shared. For sure that you have to start from somewhere. You don't get 100 and something columns right from the start, right? And well, perhaps you might can, but I mean, those 100 and something, do they really need to exist, or can just be like 10, for example? Or why 100 and not 200? What sort of decisions that that you gotta have, and you gotta ask regarding that, the current state of the work. So it's, again, it's yeah, go ahead, Dimitri, go ahead.
And you see, you asked me to show a marketing example, and that was fun, right? Now, the yogurt
Yeah,
example, it's pure manufacturing, right? So it's like you said, when you said, my company, I want to do it this way, me,
yeah.
the idea is that what industry are you in, right? What kind of department are you doing? And I expect every area to come up with their most efficient way of visualizing. To tell you the truth, I have no clue if a 100 column is a good idea, but for them, it works. And as
Yeah, for
long as you
sure.
have the metrics, and by the way, you asked me like, where do I live, all that stuff. What I want is to come visit Portugal because it's very sunny and beautiful. And we have a few customers in Portugal, and one of them is going crazy with the metrics, like very precisely. They're moving the cards and they are literally looking at their cycle time. And they found out that, for example, for them, the issue is not them. The issue is the third parties they're working with. They always kind of knew that, but until they visualized it and they had the data to prove it, that
Hmm.
it didn't make any sense. And now, that's what I always tell companies: don't make decisions based on emotions. You know it's probably the third party vendor, but don't just go cry about it. Move your cards, show the metrics, and when it becomes obvious that where the bottleneck or the delays are, then have a conversation with your vendor and explain to them with metrics, not emotion, that the process takes 10 days, but it really takes 2 days, and we wait 8 days for the vendor, right? And that's my point is, this is not about like making people feel bad. It's about improving together. Sometimes it's within the team, sometimes it's with external partners or external departments. And that's what this tool really helps is visualizing the way you need it, but then using metrics to make better decisions.
For sure. Let me get back to you on that note, like saying, I know it's been I know it's been a couple of discussions about who said it first, but again, the biggest takeaway from it, it's having a discussion based on facts and based on information and on data that you can have. It's like when last time with Johan we said, uh, every map, for example, every map is wrong regarding the worldly maps. Every map is wrong because uh, it's just a representation of what the current state of the company is. It's like a normal map, like a map from Canada. An exact map from Canada would be the exact size of Canada, and what kind of help would that bring to you? Nothing. So Some are wrong, some are useful. It's regarding about the conversation and the discussion that you have. And as in Wordly Maps, you have a discussion on what are you currently seeing in here in with Kanban, and more specifically with Kanban Zone. It's about what you see and what you have from the metrics and from the current state of the work. So yeah, that's the biggest key takeaway that you have from this conversation. Measure it, and then after a bit of tweaks, you can learn if you improve it or not. And if you haven't improved it, well, try it again. As the practice says, evolves experimentally. Try it again and make conclusions of it. Perhaps you need to try it one more time. Perhaps not. It's all right. So yeah, that's a good takeaway. Thank you for that, Dimitri. Thank you for that. Um, let me wrap up. Let me say a couple more things about how people can learn from Kanban. So we have our team Kanban practitioners courses. The For someone who wants to try it out, who wants to learn first what's Kanban and have a little taste of what it can bring to your team. The Scrum Kanban practitioner, it's more about I have Scrum, I know what it is, but I want to learn about Kanban. And for example, a good way to mix those. And the Scrum Kanban practitioner course, it's a great way for you to try it out. And you have also the Kanban system design, where you can learn those the first versions, the first drafts of your board, and to play with those, to try it around, and to really see, well, get the first bunch of metrics and get what sort of decision that they make you. And again, measure it, and then learn how to improve it, as you mentioned before. And afterwards, you have also the Kanban systems improvement. So basically, this is for people who have already know about Kanban, already have their Kanban board, but want to take the next step, want to learn more about their metrics, and want to learn more about how to, well, improvement, as the name of the course says, those kind of stuff. And afterwards, we have the Kanban maturity model and the Kanban coaching both part of the Kanban coaching practices certificate, basically on learning. Okay, I have assembled my Kanban board from our team. It's awesome. I want to exploit. I want to learn how other parts of the company as well want to may adopt the Kanban method. And the Kanban maturity bundle and Kanban coaching are a great place for you to start. With Dimitri and Kanban Zone here, I want to say that for every course that you have with us, you have an experimental sign up, experimental account with Kanban Zone for you to try it out, for you to learn how can Kanban Zone help you. And from there, well, it's a great start for your pathway for to greatness. um, so basically, don't forget, we have the World Management Agility Forum, again, with L'Oreal, with Mindera, with great companies that you can learn so much from. Grab your ticket, grab your piece of cake, coffee, tea, talk with them. It's a great place for you to make contacts. It's a great place for you to start and to improve also your journey and the journey from your company. And if you want to get a bit of more discussion with Dimitri here, scan this QR code. We have the link down below. Um, Schedule this small call about your contacts and take the conversation into the next level. Dimitri, something that you want to add to people that want to approach you in this case?
Well, well, this is a real code. Like you will be talking to me, and the reason I do
Mhm.
this is because I learned so much from these things. So just so you know, this will get you a call directly with me, and we can explore, you know, your we want to make sure that we tackle your real challenges. So please hit me up with where are your pain points? How can we help? And then we'll figure out the best way to do it. But the point here is, I would love to get a chance to discover which industry and which challenges you're facing, because we work in every industry, any country in the world, and we love new challenges. So please send me something. Contact me and let's talk about, you know, anything you want to talk about, as long as we can build a board for it.
For sure, for sure. And that's that. Take the first steps with our course. Connect with Dimitri also. So that's the perfect scenario for you guys, for you to learn about more about the visibility, more about your current state of the work, and also improve on there. Um, I think I said we said everything. I think we covered a lot of uh, great, uh, great themes, great topics. Thank you so much for to show your case studies with us, the different contexts and the different scenarios. I think it was really insightful session for myself and also for our viewers. Do you have any last words for the audience?
Yeah. Guys, you want to increase productivity, it starts with visualization. And visualizing is not difficult. You just have to look at your work every day. And this is what we're trying to do here. When you start your day and you look at the work and you prioritize, and like you see, on Gonzalo's board also, I don't know if you picked up, but his work in progress column had only 7 cards. When you stay focused and you every day look at the work, it magically happens faster. And that's not because of magic, it's because you are finally visualizing your work.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for having us. Let's talk about more sessions like this one. And from my side, and thank you for being here with us. Thank you from myself, from the Agile Thinkers team, from the Kanban Zone team, and also from Dimitri. And see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.